'Tis the season for holiday cheer, the time for mistletoe, snow, and the superstars you fear. Welcome in to the holiday edition of Worst Take. I'm happy to have you. I'm feeling a little extra cheery today, guys.
This is the most energy I've ever seen from you on a podcast video.
Ever. That was I'm expecting this energy for the rest of the video because that was great. That was awesome.
I'm expecting this energy for the rest of 2026.
That's asking a lot. It's the holidays.
No, it's
I have a little bit extra in the tank today. That's all it is.
Maybe that's Cam's New Year's resolution. More energy on the podcast videos.
It might be. It might
just be, man. It might just be.
Zach, what's your holiday resolution? New Year resolution?
Man, I don't know. I'm pretty perfect, so it's hard to think of. Look at Cam's face. That's a good. I really haven't thought about mine. I'll get to my list here soon. We'll have it by the end of the year.
Well, if you need one, I got a few for you, but I'll keep them to myself.
leave it to the ones closest to you to tell you what you need.
But Cam is right. We are doing New Year's resolutions today, but obviously not for ourselves because this is an NBA podcast, if you can tell. Let's come up with New Year's resolutions for every NBA team. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We each got 10 teams. So Zach got all the Pacific, got all the Atlantic. Cam did Southwest and Southeast so he could do his teams. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do my Lakers, but that's okay because I got the Northwest and the Central. All right, so who wants to start off here?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first, but I'm going to save our two teams for last. So we'll start off in the Atlantic with a team that we have talked about frequently, especially with the lack of their quote-unquote superstar missing this year, in the Boston Celtics. Now, I don't think the struggles of the team so far is anything that we didn't see coming. You lose your best player off of a championship team, clearly you're going to have a little bit of a setback. But one thing that they haven't done, and one thing that they still need to do, you need a solid rebounding big man. Now, Neemias Queta is on my fantasy team. And he has been surprisingly good. That's not going to hold up when you get into a deep playoff run. Go get somebody that can actually rebound and block.
I think you make a good point. I just want to give some credit to Queta because I think he's played really well. Despite being drafted several years ago, he hasn't really had a big opportunity on the team. And so with increased reps, I think he's looked pretty good, all things considered. But yeah, I think the Celtics would be doing themselves a huge favor if they could go out and get themselves an upgrade at the big man spot.
I don't think that's necessarily something they need to do this year because I don't know really what they expect out of this year. I think probably what they're going to be is what we kind of expected from them, which is a lower seed, maybe get a first round win if they're lucky. But, they're just waiting for Jason Tatum to come back. So that's not necessarily something they got to address like trade deadline, but in the offseason for sure. Yeah, they're doing better than we thought they would. And that's credit to Jaylen Brown. And we got a few extra segments coming at the end of the video that will kind of give credit to Jaylen Brown as well. We're going to be doing, I forgot to mention, because this is holiday season, we're going to be doing the nice list, which I made myself. And of course, Zach is a bit of a hater, so I let him do the naughty list as well. And then after that, we are going to update our player pyramid. All right.
Yes, sir.
Cam, resolution.
I'd like to start off with the Memphis Grizzlies. Man, what a dumpster fire. You look several years ago and the Grizzlies look like one of the most promising teams in the league. And now you don't know what to say about this team. But one thing I think their resolution should be for the New Year's is to trade Ja Morant. He's not fit with this roster for at least 2 seasons. The previous coach created an offense to literally not utilize him just because he has not been available for most of his career. Obviously, that's out of his control, injuries, but I can tell you what's in his control. His mentality and his attitude. Both have been extremely sour, at least for the past several months to start this season. And it's obvious he doesn't want to be there. He's not fitting with his teammates. And I think he's become a square peg in Memphis.
I agree. I just don't know what they can really get out of a trade now. We thought his value had cratered like a couple of years ago after all the drama. Is it even lower now? I mean, because even at that point, you could say, yeah, sure, he has all the mentality problems and the drama around him, but he's still a great player or still could be a great player. Now, I'm not so sure. He hasn't showcased that in like 3 years. It doesn't look like he has the same bounce or anything like that. So I just don't know what you're going to get out of that trade. But the fact that you got those 4 first-round picks and robbed those picks out of Bane, you have the assets now to where, okay, y'all should probably retool, set yourselves up to be really good in like 4 years, you know?
And that's what my counterpoint was going to be is like, even if you can't get a whole lot for Jaws, sometimes, they talk about it, addition by subtraction. And I think that's really what it would be at the end of the day, is just moving past this, not having the problem in your locker room and picking a direction ultimately.
I agree with you. I think in true Ja Morant fashion, you pull a pin on the grenade and you blow up that team. I mean, I think that's kind of the way that it has to go. I mean, he's been
kind of already blew up.
I mean, he's been showing us that's what he wants from day one. I'm done with Ja. I'm done. At a certain point, there's players where you have no more excuses for to go, oh, well, maybe just I have nothing left for Ja Morant. His basketball talent hasn't really gotten so much better over the last couple of years, and the outside has just gotten even worse. So locker room cancer dudes really don't survive. So who knows?
New Year's resolution for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Struggle a little bit coming out the gate. Not as good as we thought they would be. My resolution for them, get Garland right. No need to panic, okay? But this offense goes as Darius Garland goes. He is underratedly important to this offense. I understand how great Donovan Mitchell has been. He's averaging like 30 points per game. He's been crazy. But this offense is just better, and this team is overall better when he doesn't have to do that, when he's averaging like 24, 25. And when Darius Garland isn't facilitating that offense, they're just not as good of a team. They haven't been as good defensively either necessarily, but overall, to me, this team goes as Darius Garland goes. He is as important to that team. I wouldn't say as Donovan Mitchell, but almost as important on that offense as anybody else. Yeah, I think you just got to get Garland right. Don't panic. And I think they can be as good as they were last year.
I agree with that. The thing about Darius Garland and the the Cavaliers, is that Mobley has shown flashes of being that second option. So I think Garland defaults to that a little bit too much rather than solidifying himself as the number 2 scorer and just kind of knows that he's going to get 25, 26 a night from Mitchell. And Mobley could go for the same amount, but that consistency hasn't been strong enough. The mentality for him needs to switch of still being a scorer while facilitating that offense, and the Cavs will be number 1, number 2 in the East year in and year out if they keep that same roster.
It's just hard because he's coming back from that toe injury. I think that's really what's holding him back.
I think the biggest thing is not defaulting to the second option, but knowing when that's needed from you. And I think that's what a lot of great floor generals and leaders do. I think his value has been understated by a lot of people. All right, Zach, what you got?
All right, staying Atlantic Conference, Atlantic Division. Cam, I'm gonna piggyback off you since you went with Memphis, which has been a complete dumpster fire. One team in that division certainly has been, and that is the Brooklyn Nets. My New Year's resolution for Brooklyn: lower the concession prices so fans come to the games. Because nobody's coming to watch Brooklyn Net basketball. Make your drinks and your food $1, $1.50. Get people in the building just so they can have a good time. This is a rebuild team. This isn't a retool. This isn't a readjust here and there. You need to start from the ground up and free Cam Thomas because Buddy's he's just stuck. Lower your concessions. Maybe people will come in here and there. I mean, it is Brooklyn, so a lot of traffic moving through. So if they're like, oh, shoot, bro, beer's only $1, they might come and watch your games. So that's my New Year's resolution for the Brooklyn Nets.
That's $1 beer is a disaster. People are going to be fighting in the stands.
I mean, they already are. They're fighting demons internally being Brooklyn Nets fans. So.
You're just going to have them fighting externally. You do that,
just fight externally. Exactly.
Yeah, throwing elbows for a Coors Light. Yeah, it really sounds worth it. To be fair, though, the Rockies were horrific this season, and they were giving out free beer before the first pitch.
Oh, okay.
So maybe you can get a free beer by the end of the first quarter. Maybe that can be a promotion they do. We'll have to see. I don't think that's a bad idea, Zach.
You're just gonna end up with people downing as many beers as they can, then they're gonna leave after the first quarter. Is this gonna happen?
They're like, hey, let's just go for the first quarter, drink 8 beers, and then we're out.
Yeah, watch Michael Porter Jr. put up 14 shots in that first quarter, then we're out.
Speaking of bricks, let's talk about the Mavericks because they haven't been able to shoot into the ocean. I'm gonna start this off by, I'll say it, Arman. I'll put it on record. I was wrong about the Luka trade.
Obviously,
I knew that like a year ago. Like, let's be real.
Oh no!
What do you mean you knew it a
way.
year ago? The trade was a year ago. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Wrong
But
Yeah,
about the
no, we're
Luka
not letting
trade.
you sell this
Now we're
point being, though,
this to get there, brother. Everybody knew when Shams put his thumbs on his keyboard. Everybody knew who won the trade.
I'm not letting him slide out of this like he knew, bro. He made the argument Anthony Davis is more impactful because he's better on defense. What did the Mavericks need? Defense. What did they
yeah.
get?
Well, when he
Defense.
turned back into street clothes, I don't know what to tell you, man.
That's Anthony
He was
Davis. As
doing
much as
so
I love
good.
him, that's Anthony Davis. That's the story of
He was
his
doing
life.
so good.
He's
He was
incredible,
doing good, man.
and he's an arguably top 10 player in the world when he can stay healthy. But he can't stay healthy. I wish he could because I love watching him play.
And which is why the Mavericks, for the resolution, need to trade him. I think if he could be a part of a team that can continue to play without him, but then is the same way Porzingis helped the Celtics get over the hump. I think AD could be in a similar type of role. He may not be available for 90% of the season, but maybe 65%. And a team like the Hawks, the Bulls, or potentially the Pistons could get his services to make them serious contenders, which I think all of them would be. For the Mavericks, pick a direction, get some draft capital, and hopefully retool with a couple young players.
I actually don't mind the Pistons one. That's a good shout. I don't know what the Bulls get out of that because I don't think they're serious contenders even with him. I think you're right. If you can just rely on him to be there 65 games, he's still good in that role. He just can't be the guy you're relying on. I know you fired Nico, so you don't have to commit to it. At the same time, I feel like you should at least see what it looks like when Kyrie comes back, especially because they've been playing better recently. I think they've won like 4 out of the last 5. I don't think they're going to be serious, but I think you're doing a disservice if you don't at least see what it looks like when Kyrie comes back. At the same time, though, I think, inevitably that's going to happen. I would just wait to the offseason.
I completely disagree because I feel like there's several teams that seriously want Anthony Davis. And with AD, he could go down tomorrow. And we don't, God forbid, right? But if he goes down and he has another serious injury, his trade value plummets. And one thing as the Mavericks, you can't afford to lose trade value on players that you sold your franchise player for. He's already lost value. Don't get me wrong. But you got to sell high when you can. And I think waiting till the offseason would be a bad move.
I just don't think his value is as high as it could be right now. So, I mean, you might be right because the value still could go down. But if you give it to the offseason and he manages to stay relatively healthy and finishes out the season, Mavericks improve to like being a play-in team, that would improve his value. So there's a chance it goes down. There's also a chance he raises his value from where it is because obviously it's dropped. I'm not mad if you trade him, especially because OKC looks so dominant. The Mavericks realistically don't have a chance to compete.
Have zero chance. Yeah.
So I could definitely see the argument to trade him.
Dominant. We don't have to address it, but I'm going to address it first. That way I don't feel slighted when we do. OKC is unstoppable, bro. I don't know what you're getting ready to say when it comes to their turn, Arman, but I can't think of any holes in that team. Everything's a suggestion for me. Hot take. Do they beat, I guess not a hot take, more of a question. Do they go 74-8?
They're capable.
77-5?
Why no? Definitively, they've lost 1 game so far, and they did most of that.
24-1.
Yeah, they've done most of that without J-Dub and Chet.
Because if they lock up a playoff spot, do you think they will think it's worth it to play all of their starters?
For a record,
If
yeah,
they're-
the
if
Warriors
they're
did it
within
too.
striking distance of that, for sure.
They will not stop trying for it until it's not possible mathematically anymore.
I mean, their starters are out by the end of the third quarter. Like Shay said, how can I go back and forth if I'm not back and forths?
I knew you would love that caption, bro. I knew you.
Bro,
loved
that was
caption.
so hard. That was,
It was.
so
That's
tough.
a Drake bar.
It
That's
is
a
a
Drake
Drake-esque
bar.
bar. It is.
Shay is
Yeah.
Canadian.
I just don't know why it's a definitive no based off of you don't think they'll try when the Warriors obviously tried with it when they had significantly older players at the time. Not significantly, but older players than the Thunder do right now. I definitely think it's attainable. It's just a matter of if they stay healthy. But Shea has shown that he doesn't even need his guys J-Dub and Chet, his second and third best players, to dominate the league, which I think also dispels any questions that anybody had about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as well. But, you know, people keep doubting him.
Cameron.
He's
Cameron.
yeah, of course. He's having like a top 5 guard peak of all time, possibly the way he's playing right now. So, and so I'll go with the Thunder. I'll give my New Year's resolution for the OKC Thunder. My resolution for them: make room in the trophy case. That's really all I can say. You know, I can't say that they're 100% they're going to win the finals. because
Yes, you can.
well, I mean, the Pacers took him to 7 games last year. It's not definitive. Anything can happen in a 7-game series. At the same time, they look even better than last year. They have the playoff experience now in a deep playoff run, obviously winning the finals. So, yeah, I would say make room in the trophy case. You're probably going to get another ring coming your way. Maybe another MVP, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I like that. All right, I'm gonna jump to the Western Conference. I won't do one of our teams yet, Arman.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the team that I quite frankly can't stand watching. And it used to be, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball with Sacramento. And clearly, I don't like NBA basketball then, because I do not like watching the Sacramento Kings.
I don't think anybody does.
This isn't anything that I'm sure they're not hearing. But the New Year's resolution for the Kings: get a younger roster. Please. I mean, we want to talk about walking out there with canes and taking the bus to Shady Oaks after the games. I mean, Levine is way past his prime. Rosen, way past his prime. If there's teams out there, which I don't know if there are, that really want players like that, trade for younger talent, trade for draft picks.
I think that's the problem is the Kings pigeonholed themselves. They acquired 2 players that people already didn't really want simply because they played together on the Bulls and it didn't look good, but also they're getting paid a lot of freaking money. And when you have contracts like that and you're not even close to being one of the top players in the league, it's going to be hard to get people to take those players for nothing.
Ultimately, I think this ownership is just bad and they're not paying attention because there's been multiple reports where the owner is really controlling things, not the GM. I just think he's building a roster like it's 2K and he's like, Chicago Bulls East. That sounds good to me, even though the Bulls are a play-in team. I just don't know what they're doing. I think this is malpractice as far as ownership in the NBA. So until they get a new ownership group or the owner steps out of the way, I just think they're ultimately doomed.
Yeah, I think I want to talk about a team in the East, the Orlando Magic. Unfortunately, they recently beat the best team in Florida, the Miami Heat. But I think they could really be in the race, at least for, contenders. But their New Year's resolution needs to be get more floor spacing. They have Desmond Bane, and he's looked decent. I think we've overstated his performances a little bit just because he's shooting career lows. But I think that's also because the Magic's offense looks terrible. Paolo and Franz Wagner playing together. It's like none of them can shoot. They all want to run, dunk, and shoot mid-range, and that's not going to work if both of your stars are doing that. So I would say trade one of them. Whoever you think will be better, I think it might be Paolo, but we'll see. But trade one of them and get some more floor spacing, because right now that's what's killing the record and not allowing them to win games.
Yeah, fully. They need more spacing. That's always been their problem. And Bane is not a guy that, by himself, he can solely solve. And you're right. One of them needs to get traded because they just don't work well together. Ultimately, I hope Paolo will be better because he has the better talent, right? He has the better skills. He has a better build. Ultimately, he can be better. The potential is higher for him. I just think you need to ban the Melo highlights on his tablet. You gotta stop letting him play like Melo. He is not Melo. Melo, that style of play doesn't really work in the NBA anymore. I want to see him try to play more like LeBron, not Melo. And he feels like he wants to play more like Melo most of the time.
I feel like with NBA analytics now, mid-ranges they're getting phased out. They're getting X'd out. They don't want you to shoot mid-ranges. They want you to shoot a high percentage from 3, which it's not his specialty. So I don't know if in his mind he's like, well, let me just take a dribble and step in. He's big enough to get to the rim. I mean, and he's fast enough. He's athletic enough. So lean more into that.
Yeah, he needs a heavy diet of 12 to 15-foot jump shots and getting in the paint. I'd say it should be like a 60-40, 60% in the paint and 40% around that 12-foot short jumper mark.
I mean, I don't want to overreact to this season versus last season. Last season, I still feel like he was overrated. But, I mean, the points per game have gone down. Effective field goal rate has gone down. He's shooting under 30% from 3 this year. He's not improving at all. All right, I'm going to go to the team that came 1 game short of a championship last season, the Indiana Pacers. My resolution for them, don't Wiseman it, okay? You have an opportunity here with your star point guard injured. An opportunity that not many teams get. I don't know what pick you're going to end up with, but this draft is going to be amazing. The number 4 pick even could end up being like a first overall pick value in other years. Even if you end up with Koa Pete, that's pretty damn good. If the Warriors hit on that pick, that could have extended their dynasty. If you hit on this pick, Halliburton is back and Pascal Siakam is still there. You have a real shot here to win a championship because you showed you can compete with OKC. Just don't mess it up.
I love that James Wiseman's become the poster child for teams having bad years and and blowing their pick. I mean, realistically though, if they went with Melo, how much better would that have been in the long run?
Yeah, but even
I think there's better options there.
Anthony Edwards.
Well, Ant was the 101.
Yeah, Ant
Warriors
was
had the
picked
102.
first.
Well, I think there was not a consensus before the draft, and they could have
1,000,000%. Anthony Edwards was
there
the
was
best player created in the
there was
draft.
reports that the Warriors could have traded for the first pick, and they said no.
There were questions
there's always
about
reports.
there were questions about whether Anthony Edwards like cared about the game. I remember
Yes,
that.
that's exactly what I'm alluding to.
The great one that the Warriors could have picked is actually Tyrese Halliburton. They could have gone with Tyrese Halliburton.
There's a lot of teams that could have gone with Tyrese Halliburton.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. And you know what?
Phoenix.
Yeah. You passed on
Yeah.
Halliburton. You
We
chose
sure did.
Jalen
We sure did.
Smith.
Yeah, Sticks ended up on the Pacers. I'll never forgive the Phoenix Suns franchise for that. And that was literally just so DeAndre Ayton could wake up. They were like, hey, listen, we're serious about having another center start. And then he just proceeded to not care, and then we traded both of them. So didn't make any sense at all.
Imagine using a top 10 pick to say, hey, wake up, bro. That's crazy.
Bro, because I mean, yeah, we won't get into the whole Sticks situation. We're on a different topic. I'm going to piggyback off of that, Arman.
Okay.
With the team that did Wiseman it, the actual team that Wiseman it, the Golden State Warriors. Defensively, they have been phenomenal. I think we knew with Jimmy Butler coming into this team that was going to change from last year. But their offensive efficiency has been very, very, very bad. Steph isn't stoppable. He's containable when there's not another real threat next to him like he had with Klay Thompson. So my advice would be to get another solid shooter because Brandon Podziemski isn't it. Now, Cam Spencer, when he's not working his 9 to 5 as a sales accountant, buddy can hoop. I mean, I'll give him his flowers. He's not going to be another reliable option. Find somebody that is a solid 38, 39% three-point shooter to pair next to Steph. Because Buddy Hield has taken a complete back seat.
And obviously Steph is not the same Steph. He's still like amazing player, top 10 player on that fringes of that. But yeah, he needs another guy next to him.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Well,
He's like, yep, said everything I was going to say.
yeah, what's understood doesn't need to be explained, you know? Let's go to Charlotte. They have lots of great young players, but I think one of them is just not fitting with the rest of the guys. You obviously know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about LaMelo Ball. At some point, I thought LaMelo could be to the Hornets as Shea was for the Thunder. Maybe a little bit older, younger player
right.
who has a little bit more experience, could help move the needle for the team as they continue to bring in young talent. Problem is, LaMelo Ball does not play winning basketball, and he is not a leader. So the Hornets, their resolution, trade LaMelo Ball and get more draft capital. Get him off. He's not on the same timetable, and it's obvious he's not going to bring the young guys up with him to make this a great team. So continue to build off of the guys who are panning out.
We've done 4 teams, and 3 of them for Cam have been trades.
I was gonna say, I agree, but like every resolution,
A
is
lot
trade
of
this
people
guy.
need a trade. A lot
Trade
of
your
people need
best
to
player,
trade.
man.
I agree.
Okay, so you're doing good. You're doing good, but do you know how much draft capital you could get for Shea? Like, just see what he's worth in the market, bro.
See,
Just check.
the teams I'm talking about are bad
That's
already.
true.
That's the difference.
I agree, though. I do think they should probably shop LaMelo around. His value is at a low right now, so they could afford to wait for him to come back. But also, I don't know that you need to do that. I don't know that he's the best player on the team anymore with how good some of their rookies have looked. So I think this is the time. Try to actually play some winning basketball down in Charlotte because LaMelo's style of play is just damn he nice, and that's his style of play is the damn he nice build. Not actually winning build. So
And
Hey,
one
he's
mixtape.
tough. He's tough.
Did y'all see that
One-legged
video?
3-pointer. Ooh.
Did y'all see that video? I forgot who was guarding him, but Melo he hit him with 8 straight tweens. I said, "Oh, what kind of basketball are we playing, bro?"
they make the shot.
Bro is just no,
No.
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 No, it was 8
He
straight
definitely
tweets.
didn't make it.
That bag and bricked it.
I bet you open that comment section, there's a bunch of people who support that damn he nice style of play that are like, but it would have been crazy if he made it though.
Right.
Let me see if I can find it.
All right, while you try to find it, I will give my next resolution. We've been having some fun, but I will give more of a serious one. I'll go to the Denver Nuggets, the other Western Conference contender that I think is really serious right now. I think they obviously have some holes. It'll be sewn up a little bit when Aaron Gordon comes back, but still, I think they need to fix the defense. Their offense, obviously, incredible. One of the top in the league. That's obviously going to happen with Nikola Jokic. The problem is their defense right now. They're 18th right now in defensive rating. That's a problem because no team since the 0-1 Lakers has had a defense outside the top 15 in defensive rating and won a championship. So if you can't get in there in that top 15 at least, you're not going to really have a chance. And besides them, it's all been like top 10. It's been top 10 outside of them. And the 0-1 Lakers are kind of the exception to the rule anyways because they were bad during the regular season relative to the Lakers' expectations and then became incredible in the playoffs because Shaq actually got in shape. I don't know that it fully gets fixed when Aaron Gordon and Bron are back, and probably replace Cam Johnson in the starting lineup because he hasn't been everything that you hoped for. So maybe that could be the guy you replace with the defender.
I mean, that's still another trade. I'm just saying. Y'all making fun of me.
Yeah, but I didn't say a specific trade this dude. I said trade for something. And most of mine haven't been trades yet.
Load up. Let him go. Just see what you can get for him, bro.
Get a defensive center. Cam will probably support you if you trade for Anthony Davis. He's a good defender.
If AD comes over, you win that trade, bro. It don't matter who it is. You could be a top 4 player in the NBA, but if you get AD out of it, shoot.
But that's the unfortunate thing is
defense
that doesn't really
wins championships.
And that's the issue with the Nuggets. Their only positive defender right now, as far as advanced stats, is Nikola Jokic. That's it. That's their only positive defender right now.
Wow. Peyton Watson's been playing a pretty good defense too, though, actually.
Let me look. But I believe he was their only positive
He's been
defender.
a good two-way.
He's been their second best defender. He's still a negative on the box score plus minus or defensive box score plus minus, but he is their best defender at a negative 0.3. Cam Johnson's negative 1.8. Jamal Murray negative 1.4. Tim Hardaway negative 2.1. Jokic is a 4.4.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. They need to fix that defense if they really have championship aspirations.
I'm going to piggyback off of that again. I love segues. And so I'm going to segue right into my other team. On the same line of a team that could be a contender, more specifically because they play in the Eastern Conference, but a team that has shown that they can get through some of the postseason rounds, and the New York Knicks. I'm kind of taking the camera out here. Now, Cat is great. Cat is phenomenal. He's the best three-point shooting big man of all time. But the biggest thing with this team is rim protecting and interior defense. Now, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby are great perimeter defenders. They can guard inside here and there, but you need somebody that you see in the paint and you think, maybe I won't drive if I can get past the perimeter defense. Cat's not that guy. Now, Jalen Brunson is more than capable of scoring, as is Mikal Bridges, as is OG Anunoby. So offense really isn't a priority. Now, Cat spaces the floor unlike any other center that we have in the league, so that frees them up. But I feel like the lack of defense is bigger than their floor spacing issues. Do you trade Cat? I don't know, because all of the real lockdown centers are tied to long-term contracts and their teams are doing very well. So I don't know what teams are willing to move on from that. But if you can if you can package for Giannis, if you send Cat, you might have to give up Bridges or Anunoby. I don't know which one you'd rather go with, and some picks, and you bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Knicks will find themselves in the NBA Finals faster than people think.
If you can get Giannis, you go get Giannis. I think, though, it's going to be very hard if they have to package Cat plus another player plus picks to get him, because they're already so low on depth. They have no depth right now. So I don't know how much getting rid of more players is going to help. But honestly...
Don't disrespect Mitchell Robinson. Don't disrespect Mitchell Robinson.
Brother, do you know what he's shooting from the free throw line?
37%.
It's like 22.
What?
Mitch sucks at free throws, bro. Yeah. Mitch is a caveman, bro. Look at his face. He has such a small face on a 7-foot frame. He's just a caveman. Of course he shoots 20% from the free throw line.
Oh, yeah, it is actually. It is exactly 20%. It's even lower than I said.
Yeah, see?
How many free throws has he shot?
I don't know total, but I know it's been enough.
Jesus
they're doing Hacker Robinson now anytime he's in the game.
I genuinely think if you blindfolded me and gave me 10 free throws, I could make more than 2.
No, you couldn't. Shoot,
Two
I'm worried
out of
about
what?
that with your eyes
10.
open, bro. I'm worried about that percentage with your eyes open, let alone blindfolded.
Bro, you do know. Never mind. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into this.
That's cool.
I'm not even gonna get into
okay,
this.
so I like that. Because that has been a topic of conversation, especially with Giannis and his team telling the league that essentially he doesn't want to be in Milwaukee anymore. I'm going to finalize that for the Knicks as their New Year's resolution. Go get Giannis, bro. Package Cat. Cat's got to go.
Trade
However
Jalen
you have to
Brunson.
do it.
You know?
No, Brunson's not going anywhere. However you have to do it. However you have to move Cat out of that lineup, go get Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Even if I don't think that makes them a championship team this year because they don't have the depth and they'd be facing OKC, I think Giannis is good enough to where you say, you know what, we get him, we try our best this season, but really this is about next season. Give me Giannis, give me Brunson together. We'll figure out the depth more in the offseason.
That might be the best defensive team in the NBA. If they keep Bridges and Anunoby and they get Giannis, because Josh Hart isn't a crazy defender, but he's not a traffic cone. Your only lack of defense is Jalen Brunson.
Even with the liability of Cat and Brunson, they're like 11th in defense right now. You upgrade that with Giannis, yeah, they could be top 5 in both offense and defense.
Which they should have done in the offseason, because that's exactly why New York lost in the postseason. Cat got exposed on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody watching the games saw that.
Let me piggyback off this one, Cam, and then I'll give you your.
Okay.
I know we've been kind of just going back and forth. We'll let you have like a streak of like 3 in a row here. I just want to piggyback off of it. Let me go to the Bucks here, because my thing for the Bucks resolution: don't let Giannis Dame himself. Do right by him. Trade him, because your future, you're not going to be able to build around him. You don't have a pick until like 2031. You're not going to be able to build a good team around him, good enough to win a championship. Get what you can now. It's better for your franchise to trade him now, and it's better for Giannis to not let him Dame himself.
Ours can go hand in hand.
I
Our New
agree.
Year's resolutions
I agree.
link up.
Okay, yeah, Bucks and Knicks link up, yeah.
Yeah.
What, you don't want those
Yeah.
two teams to do the New Year's kiss together? Trade Giannis on New Year's Day?
Just a dangling mistletoe of Giannis and the Knicks logo.
Yeah.
Can we make that the thumbnail?
No,
Giannis and
I'm
the
not
Knicks
doing
logo
that.
just with the mistletoe.
No.
That's awful,
God,
man.
man.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of another 7-footer, though, I want to go to the Spurs. They've been doing great. In terms of basketball play, I don't have any critiques. I think they're doing just fine. They're fine out in the West. But one thing I will say is the resolution: help Wemby find his zen. Get him back healthy. Get him up to speed. Keep him healthy. Allow him to find some rhythm with this team. Hopefully play the rest of the season. And I think you may see a Spurs team that could potentially get to the conference finals. I think they're that good. Obviously, they don't have the experience, but with the young guys contributing, De'Aaron Fox looks to be pretty healthy this season. You can get Wemby back and keep him for most of the year. I think this is a team that could genuinely get to the conference finals.
No.
Genuinely.
I disagree.
do you mean,
And
no?
I'm sticking with it. One of my hot takes in the last episode were the Spurs are first round exit. And I really wholeheartedly believe that.
No, your hot
that's-
take. Your hot take was that they wouldn't make it past the second round. That was the hot take, which I didn't think was a hot take.
I thought I said first round exits.
No. But you want to make that's a much hotter take if you want to say that.
Whatever I said. I wholeheartedly believe that. And that does include getting to the conference finals. It's the lack of experience. And some of these teams and some of these players, especially like Shea and Nikola Jokic, they turn into different animals in postseason runs. Now, while the regular season might be a little bit more mild, it gets amplified times 10 when the postseason hits. The Spurs don't have, I don't know if anybody on that roster. Is Harrison Barnes still playing? I don't know if anybody on that roster.
Yes,
is
Harrison Barnes is still playing. He's been playing great, actually.
He has been playing pretty well.
If Harrison Barnes is your only veteran with playoff experience, your team is in deep, deep trouble and not bound for the conference finals. I still think they're a couple years away from ring talk, but I do agree with getting Wemby healthy, and that would 1,000,000% help my fantasy team, although I'm not really struggling.
That's true. You're
Having
kinda
Wemby
doing
back,
well.
having him back is going to be great for my team and for the Spurs, so I agree with you.
I don't think it's as crazy to think they can make the conference finals as I thought it was a month ago. Just because, I mean, they're 9-3 without Wemby right now, which is crazy. If I had to predict, I would probably say that they don't end up there because of the lack of playoff experience. To go deep in the playoffs, you need that playoff experience. The only big player for them that has any playoff experience is, I mean, Harrison Barnes, right, but big player. De'Aaron Fox, who his only playoff experience is losing in 7 to the Warriors. I could definitely see him making the conference finals. If I had to predict, I doubt it. It would just depend on what the seeding ends up being. Because if it's OKC 1 seed, Denver 2 seed, they would have to go through one of them. And I doubt that they go through one of them.
They go through Houston?
Oh yeah, I would doubt they even go through Houston either.
Well, I'm not saying that as if like they're definitely getting to the conference finals. I'm just saying the probability is there. It's like a reasonable. If you're making that prediction, I don't think anybody would be like, "Oh, that's a crazy take." I don't think anybody would say that.
I would.
If they were in the East, I would be like, oh yeah, I could definitely see that. I might even predict that if they were in the East. It's hard to see when I don't see them going through 3 of those teams. And if the Lakers make a trade for a wing defender, which is what I hope their resolution is, Zach, that's 4 teams that I don't think they would go through.
Hold on.
For sure.
Hold on. Can I just show you what I have written down? I only have 2 words for that resolution.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm not trying to jump the gun, but it's the simple fact that you just said it. I'm just going to get this out the way. My 2 words written down next to the Lakers: wing defender.
Yeah, I mean,
and like I don't even know how to.
There is just a glaring issue with the Lakers, so I mean that was obvious.
You got Austin Reeves and Luka in your backcourt. Then you have 49,000-year-old LeBron, who's there to stay in front of somebody. And then you got Rui Hachimura.
Rui don't defend nobody, bro.
They spinning him around, flipping around like hibachi, man. You got to stay on your guy, bro. You can't just go around and shoot and that's it. You got to play defense. And they cooking him up and like some onions.
If he can just be the 6th man off the bench, I like Rui. But right now, he cannot start in this offense. We need a wing defender that can also shoot threes. Would be nice, but we need a wing defender. And then I would put us in conversations of like, okay, we could actually be a contender. Right now, I don't think so with the current roster.
But the good thing is for the Lakers, a lot of players have showed up this year, and so you'll have some options of how you can proceed to make the team better.
And for all of the haters in that conversation of, oh, how much better does LeBron actually make his teammates? Look no further than the bum ass of bum asses, DeAndre Ayton. Look no further than a guy who quite literally didn't want to play basketball. Somehow, some way turned into a competent player.
I mean, he's been playing well even without LeBron. I would give more credit to Luka, honestly. Luka's been setting them up.
And AR, both of them have been serving the offense up on a plate.
Maybe he just hated Phoenix. Maybe that was all.
Wait, what?
It is hot. Yeah, I mean, one of us is there right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out.
One of us is there right now at this moment of recording.
As soon as we can. All right,
Triple
Cam.
digit paradise. All right, my next team will be the Wizards. Their New Year's resolution: find lightning in a bottle. I don't know. You got
dollar beers, maybe $1 beers, $1 beers,
$1 beers.
It's a resolution to like
prices.
5 teams.
$1 beers.
No, but in all seriousness, I believe they have potentially 3 first-round picks, 4 second-rounders. Their front office, they've been cooking. They've got tons of draft capital. And as someone who just said it, don't James Wiseman this. You've got plenty of options to have a lottery and a high lottery pick at that being so terrible that you could genuinely get your franchise player, which I don't think they've drafted yet. They've drafted a lot of solid players. I think Alex Sarr looks like a decent rim protector and contributor as a role player or complimentary star.
I thought Keyshawn George was going to be an all-star. Isn't he the franchise guy?
Eventually, but he's not franchised, no. Okay. I just said that as like a orbiter. He's around that all-star level. He's going to give you that type of production. He's a fantastic, talented offensive player, but they need their guy. This is the draft to do it. This draft might be one of the best in history. Don't F this up, Washington. Please. I know that's hard, but please get this right.
Are we giving up the possibilities of Sarr being the franchise? You don't draft top threes for fun.
I think we knew, though, that draft was weak. We knew he probably wasn't the franchise guy. I don't see the spark with Sarr that makes me watch him and then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's their future guy, right? Usually I feel like you can see it. I don't see it with him. I see him as a good player. I don't think he's the franchise. This is definitely the opportunity, but I don't know. This is less of a Wiseman because Wiseman actually requires you to be a good team outside of a player injury. This is more like a Marvin Bagley with the Kings. Don't Marvin Bagley it.
Don't fumble the
All
bag.
number 2 picks. All number 2 picks, by the way. Next year, we're going to say don't Alex Sarr it.
All right, bro. All right, bro. Cam, you want to give one more?
Yeah, sure. My guy Corey, he's going to like this one. For New Orleans, the Pelicans, their resolution, proceed with zero fears. Go into the new year. Start a new horizon, a new era of Pelicans basketball. Trade the big Bayou, Zion Williamson. He's not the guy. And run your team through Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. He's been phenomenal. I think those are the guys you want to build off of and continue to structure this roster for success in the future.
I'm fully bought in on Derek Queen. I think he's definitely future All-Star. Maybe more. We'll see. It's a little much off of one rookie year. I'm not, under no circumstances, I don't care how good he is, that trade is still stupid. I don't want anybody telling me that trade is not stupid. They could have gotten that trade done without giving that pick unprotected. They could have protected the pick. But I see the vision with Derek Queen. Trade is still stupid, but you could have got it done another way.
Yeah. Derek Queen is honestly coming out of college. Derek Queen's what everybody thought Angel Reese was in the WNBA with scoring and rebounding. That's what it actually looks like.
Angel Reese save, bro. What the hell?
So for those who are curious as to what that looks like, that's what that looks like.
Why?
Bro. Because Derek Queen was that at 20 and 15 a night at Maryland, and he's just taking his scoring to another step while actually being able to rebound against grown men. That is what that translation looks like for those who are curious as to how can you move from college to the league. Just like that. I think Derek Queen is going to be great.
The Angel Reese stray was so unneeded. She was actually good this year, okay? She shot 48% from the field. She's been good this year.
I'm not buying the hype.
48% is still a little low considering a majority of your shots. Yes.
Hey,
correct.
Or at the rim.
14 and 12. And I don't hear a peep out of y'all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was ass last year.
Oh, she's terrible.
All right. Well, first of all,
37% from the field as a shooter. Come on.
Yeah, on 12 games, she was hurt the whole season.
Still, 28% from three, even the year before. Still it's only 34% from three when that was her calling card. I don't want to hear it.
I didn't say Caitlin Clark was the second coming of Jesus.
Okay, well, y'all, I just heard the Angel Reese hate. I didn't hear anything about Caitlin Clark. That's all.
I actually don't even dislike Angel Reese, but they were like, when I think of Derek Queen's college games, that's kind of like the translation version.
Well, I just know your biases, so I know which way.
That's what Cameron just mumbled under his breath. I heard him. I'll have you know, Caitlin Clark isn't even my favorite player on the Fever. It's Sophie Cunningham.
Another white woman.
That is my favorite player.
Anyway,
because because it's a former Phoenix Mercury.
Oh, yeah.
I like Nafisa Collier. She's pretty good.
Yeah, she can hoop too.
Yeah, she's tough. Yeah, I know a little ball, just not a lot of ball.
I'm surprised your answer isn't
W ball.
Asia Wilson, considering she's the best in the league.
Okay.
Also, like Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, Asia and Bam Wilson, baby. Asia and Bam Wilson.
If they have a kid, holy hell, that's gonna be the best American player we've seen in a very long time.
Hopefully they get their mom's traits, because golly,
he hasn't been that bad.
Chill out.
In their respective fields, she's a better player. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Relative to their competition, she's
yeah.
she's
Asia
like the
Wilson's
all-time
probably the GOAT.
So.
I'm not there yet. She still ain't past Diana Taurasi for me. But I'm.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on.
She ain't past DT yet. Stop. She's not past DT. She's on her way. She's on her way for sure. She's not past Diana Taurasi yet.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yet another white woman.
That has nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with that. Diana Taurasi is the GOAT. What do we say, Maya Moore?
Okay.
Parker. Speaking of the Mercury, I'll get this one out of the way now. We'll go to my Phoenix Suns. I think we've been playing better than a lot of people thought we would in the year, especially missing Devin Booker and Jalen Green for several games. Now that's due to Colin Gillespie finding some out of nowhere, and Dylan Brooks absolutely. The fact that he can go for 30 is news to me. I didn't even know he was capable of doing that. I haven't seen him do that since college, but great to have that. Our New Year's resolution is to get Jalen Green a new hamstring. We're not doing the injuries week in and week out. Get him a new one, surgically repair it, because Book's injuries are here and there. They fluctuate. But Jalen Green played 2 games and has had 2 hamstring pulls. Get him a new one so we can see what this team actually looks like moving forward. And I still am 100% bought in. Suns get a play-in berth.
I mean, at this point, I might be bought into because there's 5 ass teams that I would say are worse than the Suns right now. So I think there's a chance there. I could see them falling to 11, but I could also see them being the 10. But if their last game is indicative of anything, they might be 15.
No. That's not fair. That's not fair. We lost no Book, no Green, and we played the best team potentially in NBA history. That's not fair.
I mean, y'all beat the Timberwolves without him.
But when Booker played, the first time we played him, we lost by 4. I just want that to be known. Now, is Devin Booker a 45-point difference? No, but he keeps it closer.
Bro, they beat the brakes off of y'all, bro.
They did. That's fine.
That's the thing, though. There's definitely 4 teams in the West that are way worse than y'all. Jazz, Kings, Clippers, Pelicans, all way worse than y'all.
Yeah.
So it's like y'all are either 10 or 11. So I could definitely see them making the play-in now.
For sure.
And I mean, I just mentioned them. Ass team. Let's go to it. Utah Jazz. My resolution for y'all before the draft, because this is a great draft and y'all are a bad team, get a new scouting department. Because do not do the same thing y'all did with Cody Williams, because that looks like one of the worst top 10 picks of all time right now. Okay, so don't mess it up in this draft too, okay?
Ace Bailey, he's still got potential.
That was a layup, though.
He don't want to be there.
That was a layup pick that he fell in their lap, and they said, you know what, we're just going to do it. Bro, top 10 pick 2 years in, he's averaging 2 points per game.
Honestly,
Jesus
because
Christ.
he wasn't
32% from the field.
He didn't really show a lot of flashes at Colorado. So I kind of had a feeling that he would fall, because coming into that draft, he was a top 5 prospect, but I thought he would fall farther. He got a top 10 strictly off the hype of J-Dub and his last name. You know, look at Seth compared to Steph. You know, not every brother is going to be just like the other one.
Yeah.
Look at Jonte Porter and Michael Porter.
Jonte, bro, one of the best bets in the league, man. It's a safe bet going with Jonte.
It's very safe for a couple of weeks.
I don't know.
It's a safe bet going with Jonte.
I don't think it's safe. I actually don't think it's safe.
Might get you in some trouble.
Yeah.
So here's my New Year's resolution for Jonte Porter. Don't Chauncey Billups yourself anymore.
Okay. I think Chauncey Billups may have Jonte Portered himself at one game.
Malik Beasley, Jonte Portered himself. Hey, your boy Terry definitely Jonte Portered himself, Cam. Don't sit here. I've seen the footage and tell me he wasn't betting on his own turnovers, because he certainly was.
No comment.
All right, give me something you can comment on, Cam.
Okay, one thing I want to comment on is the Hawks. Their New Year's resolution should be double down on defense. I think they look great this year without Trae Young at that. Jalen Johnson looks like he could really be one of those ones, like a top 15 player going forward. I don't think he's there yet, obviously.
We're updating the pyramid. He's not top 15 yet. He could be on the pyramid. We'll talk about it.
Yes, playmaking, scoring, rebounding. He looks fantastic. The Hawks did find lightning in the bottle with him, and I think they need to capitalize on that. And I think that starts with moving some guys. Maybe they get AD. I don't know. But they need to get a defensive cornerstone, whoever that may be. Bring Trae Young back. I think you'll really see just the ceiling of this team.
I'm surprised you didn't go for the trade Trae Young. That's been your trend so far. I would have agreed with it too. I'm on that train of like.
I think they've just been so good without him. Like your argument with the Mavericks, I think they would be doing themselves a disservice not to see what this team is like with Trae on the floor.
I guess that's true. You did build the team around him, and then to not give him the chance, at least, I guess I can see it. I've been out on Trae Young as like the number one option for a while now. So I guess that's just where my head's at.
I think Trae Young could thrive in that Darius Garland role. Have somebody else that's your number one scorer, because Trae's a phenomenal facilitator and he's a deep threat. So you can't really help off of him.
And that's why I say that, because you got Nikhil. I think he'll obviously come back down to earth, but I think he's grown as a scorer. And then you got Jalen Johnson, who could very well be their number one option offensively. Yes. Plus, I don't think Trae Young has ever had a team as good either.
It's probably true. He really has not had great teams.
I mean, they're better than normal years, because usually Atlanta's the epitome of mid, going to 41-41 or 40-42. So they're 14-11 for the first 25. So they're slightly above. So this is we're on the up and ups. As long as we can finish above 500, you did better than the past 3 years. I think Jalen Johnson 100% has the capabilities of being a number one scorer. I think he's averaging 23, 10 and 8 or something like just absolutely insane.
I don't know about the AD thing because I just don't think they're close enough yet, but I like waiting for Trey, see what it looks like, and then we can take it from there. Let's go to a team that's number one in the East that if the Hawks had any aspirations that they would have to compete with right now. Detroit Pistons, number one in the East. We thought the come-up was last year. Maybe the real come-up is this year. They were doing all that without how good Jalen Duren's been this season. Jalen Duren, legitimate all-star this year, and I think that's here to stay. He looks really good. My resolution for them, though, I don't think that they're perfect. I don't even like them the most out of the East right now when they're at the top of their game. I think the Knicks are a better team overall. My resolution for them, you need to find a second creator. Because as good as Cade is, you can't only rely on him because the load that he has to have right now, it is just too much. So I think getting a second creator would really unlock Cade because otherwise defenses are really zeroing in on him, and that's why he has not been all that efficient this year. He's 45% from field goal, which isn't bad, under 30% from three this year, which is bad. Effective field goal rate, under 50%. But the true shooting is good, which shows if you unlock him and give him more spacing, those numbers would equalize themselves.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think that 14 for 45 night's going to tank some of his numbers, especially this early into the season.
That's true.
I could not believe that was an actual stat line. I was baffled. He scored 45 on 14 shots. No. He made 14 on 45 attempts. Right. Okay, great. That's an awful night. I mean, I agree with that. I think another creator would definitely help. I think a big, especially with Cade's lack of 3-point percentage. I think if you get a real one, and you had one with Beasley before the whole, anyways,
fiasco.
That team could have actually been somewhat decent. 3-point shooting is a big gap in their game, and they found ways around it just because of how dominant Jalen Duren is inside and how easy Cade can facilitate the offense to get open shots. But if you get a real 3-point shooter, like if that trade for Desmond Bane went to Detroit would be in a way different situation with more floor spacing to allow Cade more opportunities to get to the rim and not shoot. Not even tour dates, bro. You're shooting Vietnam War years. Like, what are we doing, my guy? Like,
I don't know if you know when Vietnam War was, but
we're shooting Christopher Columbus Sail on the Ocean Blue years, my guy.
A 3-point shooter would definitely help. I just also think that they don't have another dude other than Cade that can get his own shot. Nobody else on that team can get their own shot. Desmond Bane would be good because I think he can get his own shot too. He can create for himself.
I don't know if it's because I'm comparing him to his brother. I'm not the biggest Asar Thompson fan.
Really? He's been good. He's been a good defender.
He is. He's great for their perimeter defense. I don't know if they've just said, you don't really have to focus on scoring. If you could find somebody with the same level of defense-ish, but also the ability to knock down the three, a team's in a different position, like a Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby or a real 3-and-D kind of guy.
I just feel like that's always going to be his role. Asking more of him is he's going to be that Tony Allen type role where he gives you 10, but he's there for the defense. Obviously, getting him a 3-ball would be nice, but I don't know if that's ever going to be his role. I still think he can be a good contributor on the team.
We'll slide over. We'll stay in the Eastern Conference because I have 2 Eastern, 1 Western left. We'll slide over to another team that used to be good in the East, but has definitely taken a step back with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'm going to put this out there, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it when we do the player pyramid. I was absolutely 100%, 1 trillion, 1,000 billion% right about Tyrese Maxey. Nobody else wanted to say that. I just had to put that out there. I called it.
We already said you were right.
Tyrese has made that jump and has looked phenomenal. I don't think there's anything else that you need to change other than the fact that this is Tyrese Maxey's team moving forward because of the lack of Joel Embiid, which brings me to my point. I don't think you need to trade him, but you need another solid big man to be there when, not an if anymore, Joel Embiid goes down. So it's not a huge drop off to your backups. For example, the way that Isaiah Hartenstein was able to fill roles for the Thunder, it's not the same productivity, but it wasn't a crazy drop drop off when Chet came off the floor or whoever else they moved him to the 5 to actually start. So somebody along the realms of that, a capable starting center, somebody else to
It's been Drummond mostly.
again, old, washed.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond actually has played pretty well, and he's improved his offensive game, hitting corner threes. So not too much on Drummond. He's played very well, all things considered. I just want to put that in there.
For the Portland Trailblazers, see if you can get a refund on that contract for Toumani Camara, because unless he's playing for a contract, he ain't playing defense. Right now, the efficiency has gone down. I know he's averaging 1 more point per game. His efficiency has gone way down. Usage rate has gone up. And he ain't playing no defense. So I don't know if it was just because he was a second-round pick and he had to scrap and he had to play defense for that contract. Now you paid him, he ain't trying anymore. So that's my New Year's resolution. Try to get a refund. See if there's a loophole in the contract you can pull. You don't got to get rid of him.
Let's not jump the gun just yet. He's having a down year. Take it easy on Toumani.
Down year in his 3rd year. I don't know. I think he was playing up for the contract.
I think so.
Some might call that being a businessman.
I might call that selling my fantasy team right now.
It's called pulling a Christian Wood. That's exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
A Chandler Parsons.
Chandler Parsons, yep.
Exactly.
It's hard to thrive in such a bad situation like Portland. There's very few bright spots coming out of Portland.
They started the year winning, though. They had a great record.
I feel like that was always fraudulent, to be honest. But
yes, but I'm just saying, when you're motivated like that, typically you want to play defense more, not less.
I think he just was motivated for the money, and now he's not. That's all. We'll see.
We know it was a spite. It's okay. I get it. It's because the Phoenix Suns drafted him.
No, it's because he's selling my fantasy team. That's where the spite's coming from.
You can drop him.
No, not happening. He's too good for that. Just not good enough.
Well, I'm going to start with one of my teams. I'm going to start first with the Miami Heat. They've kind of come back to earth a little bit, but still. That being said, I think the Heat were better than a lot of people thought we were. And I think it's thanks to the way Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra has transformed this offense and made the Miami Heat an interesting team to watch on offense, which I haven't been able to really say is true outside of Jimmy Butler for the past 4 seasons. But his theme is so prominent, but it's true. There's a lot of teams in this space. They need to get their guy offensively. I don't think they have their guy yet. I think they have 2 complementary options. They don't have their guy. You have Tyler Hero. He's still playing well. I think he might be the piece, and some other guys who have stepped up this year to get a guy. So I think get a star.
Yeah, I would say if you can get Giannis. I just don't know how that's going to work. They're in this weird space where they're just in this middling ground where I don't feel like they have a valuable asset on the squad, whereas it's so tempting that they can get a star. But yeah, Norm Powell is not
for sure
the number 1 option on a great team,
No.
No, but that man has been hooping.
He's been hooping.
That man has been hooping.
Credit to him, who, when he said a couple years ago, I feel like I got a breakout season in me. He was right.
I didn't think it was coming in year 11 of his career, but man, and he's shooting 43% from 3. But he's just hooping.
So weird.
Which is a great transition. I'm glad you went with Miami because my last team in the West, I still have 2 more, 1 more in the East, but in the West is the Los Angeles Clippers. Again, I'm not jumping on the just trade these guys wave. I don't see at this point how it hurts your team moving forward with Kawhi, in the simple fact that he has not been playing. Now, we all know that when Kawhi Leonard does play and he does put together a healthy season, he's one of the best players in the NBA, which is why I don't think that they should jump. Yeah, and when he does, and the thing about Kawhi is when he does come back, it doesn't take too many games for him to get back to that level of performance. He's just kind of all right, I'm healthy, let's go out, and I'm gonna play the best that I can and still play at a high level, which is why I think the Clippers should trade him, or shouldn't trade him. I think they should keep him, especially because they're paying him all that money. What I would like to see, and this is just a personal preference when it comes to the Clippers, because Kawhi will go down again at some point in this season. I would like to see an actual ball handler like Chris Paul to play on that team and let James Harden be a scorer once again. I feel like he thrives in that rather than having to carry the facilitating role as much. I want to see Houston James Harden back in a Clippers uniform, because he's proven night in and night out with 40-point triple-doubles that he can still score when he wants to.
I think it's a little late, brother. I think it's
a little late.
Maybe at the start of the season. Brother, they're 6-19. This is a little late for that.
Which is why it's time to switch shit up. like,
I guess there
what
is
you're
no
doing isn't
incentive to
working.
be bad because they don't have their pick. That's true.
That is true.
I don't know.
But I don't think James Harden he wasn't an off-ball player even when he played in Houston. That's the thing. So it's just like he's just grown more into a point guard playmaker role. But like he's never been an off-ball coming off the screen type of guy anyways.
That is true. There was more packages, more offensive scheme set up where he didn't have to at least take the ball up the court. Now maybe they got it into his hands in the half-court settings. Watching a Clippers game, and granted I haven't watched many because like you said, they're 6-19. Nobody's really watching Clippers basketball. It's every single possession starts with him. And it should. He's your best player. But if you were able to somehow, some way keep Chris Paul, which they did him absolutely dirty, I would have liked to see what a hardened scorer peer mindset looks like at this stage in his career because he still has it.
I don't know. I think it's a little late. Chris Paul was washed, but they shouldn't have done him like that, though. So they deserve everything that's coming to them for doing Chris Paul like that and for still being in my city, even though no one wants them there. And then so my last team in the East, Chicago Bulls, I knew it was fake as hell. They do this every time where they convince you, oh, they're actually nice. They're actually super nice. And then they fall off a cliff. I'm not falling for it. I didn't fall for it. Other people fell for it. Never letting other people fall for it again. My resolution, just commit to the rebuild already, brother. It's been like 6 years of you just being this middling team because you don't want to lose your season ticket holders. You're going to lose them anyways. Just commit to the rebuild so you can actually start over and get a good player. As good as Josh Giddey has been this year, he's not your franchise guy. Let it go. Cut it. Okay?
Cut it. Pow. Cut it.
He's playing the crickets.
Way too high. You need to cut it. Damn price is way too high. You need to cut it.
You're going to get us DMCA'd. Shut up. You're going to get us DMCA'd.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
My last team, although I really wish this player was there so I could say to trade him. I really wish Pascal was still with Toronto so I could say just trade his ass because he's a bust and he's washed just to spite out of Cameron. But he's not. So with the Raptors, and this one is a serious one. I wanted to have some humor in all of these because of course it is our content. But this one is a serious one. Looking at the glaring issues with the Toronto Raptors this year, they have lost the free throw battle almost every single night. It's not hard to draw fouls anymore. Just throw your head back or flail your arms, whatever you have to do, and you will keep a lot of these games closer. Find a way to get to the free throw line because you're losing the free throw battle. You almost never win the game. I mean, James Harden figured that out. Shea's figured that out.
Especially with Scotty Barnes as your best player. I mean, it just seems kind of silly that you're not getting to the line as much. I know you have Brandon Ingram who loves this mid-range, but you have a lot of guys who can attack the rim. Get a foul, man. Especially with, according to Jaylen Brown, Scotty Barnes is a really strong player. So, you got to use that strength to get in the paint and get some fouls.
All right, bro. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong player, apparently. For
you know what the
reasons?
Celtics resolution should have been? You know what it should have been? Send Jaylen Brown to Turkey. Golly. If I see that spray painted hair come off on one more jersey, just be bald.
Yeah, just accept it at this point. Yeah.
Just pull a Derek White and be bald.
Y'all can be the bald boys together. It'll be good.
The headband on, you'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. My last team, Cam's third favorite team, because he has two teams. His third favorite team, because of Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves. My resolution for them, beat a good team, bro. Y'all are over 500. Y'all ain't beat a good team this season yet. Y'all have beat the Spurs. That's one. That's about it. You look at the schedule, the guys that they have beat, it's all bad teams. It's Trailblazers, Pacers, Hornets, Nets, Jazz, Kings, Mavericks, Wizards, and then they beat the Celtics, who've been better than we thought. They beat the Spurs. They beat the Pels twice and the Clippers.
And you know one team you didn't say who's beat them twice now?
Well, because I was reading off the wins.
I know.
They lost to the Suns twice. Yeah, they lost to the Suns twice. When you faced the Thunder, you got smoked. You lost to the Kings somehow. You faced the Nuggets twice this season already. You got smoked both times. And then you faced the Knicks, lost. Faced the Lakers twice, lost. You got to beat a good team at some point, man.
Saying Colin Gillespie may or may not be Anthony Edwards' papa.
Until you do it in the playoffs, you're never getting past the Anthony Edwards is Devin Booker's papa.
No. That's KD's dad, not Devin Booker's. That's KD's dad.
No, that's the Phoenix Suns' dad. Let's be very clear about that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Luka is is Devin Booker's dad. I forgot about that.
No, Luka is Cameron Johnson's dad.
Yeah, okay. That's who y'all were
What he
relying
did to
on,
Cam Johnson. No,
Yeah,
but he
man.
bullied Cam Johnson. He didn't bully Booker.
I remember the
bullied
picture,
everybody.
brother. I remember the picture, the staring at him. I remember
Look at him
that.
smiling.
Yeah, that haunts you, and I know it, bro.
That's because Book had just got done whooping his ass the night before, so then Luka came back and responded. It was a fight, That's what happens.
What happened at the end of the series? Who ended that series?
Luka on with
yeah.
Cam Johnson guarding him.
Okay, all right. New Year's resolutions all done. I think those are all very good. I think those are all
Wait,
very.
wait.
Oh, you didn't do your Rockets. My bad.
You gonna forget about
we
the
can skip it, we
Houston
can skip it,
Rockets?
we can skip
No,
it.
no,
End the
no,
video,
no,
end
no,
the video,
no,
end the
no,
video.
no,
Roll the
no,
outro,
no,
Arman. Roll the
no,
outro.
no,
Roll the
no,
outro.
We have more stuff
Roll the
after this,
outro.
anyways, bro.
For the Houston Rockets, shut up, Zach. For the Houston Rockets, what they need to do, they need to make a big splash before the trade deadline. Get your guy at guard, and I don't think they have to pay a huge cost for that guy. I think there's a ton of guards out around the league who maybe teams aren't as high on. This team is thin at the guard spot. Add some depth, maybe get an upgrade, because what you got ain't enough. The Thunder are 24-1.
It's almost like Arman was right coming into the season about that Van Vliet injury. A certain Rockets fan didn't want to hear that about Van Vliet.
But that's not why.
You
That's
said they're
not
weak at the
why,
guard
though.
position, though.
Yeah, but I don't think Van. Oh my God. I don't think Van Vliet playing would change that.
You can't even get that lie
lot.
out of your mouth. You can't even get that lie out of your mouth. That's why you couldn't say it, because that's a lie from the jump. You couldn't even lie correctly. Of course, Van Vliet would make a difference.
I didn't say he wouldn't make a difference. I don't think he would make the difference, which is the gap between them and OKC.
Well, no, yeah, nothing you do is going to make up that gap. Nothing you do this season, in the middle of the season, is going to make up that gap. They're one of the best
Right.
teams of all time. I do think, though, even with the current roster construction, y'all have a shot in a 7-game series. OKC had a shot
for
against
sure.
the 73-9 Warriors. They had a shot. They didn't pull it off, but the Cavs did, right? You get a better guard, yeah, I think you definitely got a shot. Am I picking y'all? Hell no, though.
All I'm trying to say.
It's the Thunder right
Okay.
now. But.
Houston, we have a problem.
See, this is the
And
difference
it's called
between me and
OKC.
y'all. I can be honest and say that my team doesn't have the best chance right now. It's Cam's Rockets. I can admit that.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
All right, so now I can say that's all our New Year's resolutions done. Very good. I think all of them were very apt. We are now on to Santa's list right now, and I will start with the nice list. We'll be generous. Let's start with being nice before we go into the hater stuff of Zach. My first name on the nice list, I had to start with a Laker who has been all-star level, if not all NBA level to this point. I don't think he'll end up being all NBA, but to this point he's been amazing. Austin Reeves is the first name on Santa's nice list. He's been incredible. Their number 2 option on offense. Will he sustain it? Probably not. Is he a good defender? Hell no. But is he awesome? Absolutely.
Hey, man, all respect.
Surprise.
All respect to AR this year. He has definitely taken that next jump, and it's fun to watch. Me and my friend actually have a bet. A very fond fan of this show, which I'm sure he'll be like, "Oh my God, you mentioned my name." My friend Gabriel is a adamant watcher of Worst Take and loves to come in and
Gabriel.
watch our videos with us. We have a bet right now that at the end of the year, because Austin Reeves is currently averaging 28. Now, granted, he's not a ball knower, and am I taking advantage of this? Slightly. He thinks that'll stay the same after 82 games. So our line for Austin Reeves and his averages is at 28
that's
points
messed
per
up.
game.
It's 28.
He's taking the over.
Oh, man.
He's taking the over, and I took the under, and I said, brother, there's 82 games in a season.
And LeBron's coming back. Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, the best case scenario for that bet, not for the Lakers. Again, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because it sounds like a hater, but I don't think that stands at 28 games. AR's been great. Now, moving on to the naughty list. I'm saying this name first because I shouldn't feel happy about this, but I certainly do. You went with a Laker. I'm going with a former Sun. Bradley Beal. Oh,
The
my
injury,
God,
dude.
bro.
That's messed up, bro.
Even before
Santa
the
is
injury,
fucked
he was
up
awful.
this year, bro. That's crazy.
Even before the injury, I'm not happy that he's hurt. I don't wish
You
harm
are.
on any human being. But is it nice to know that he is not currently playing playing NBA basketball. He's on the list for a reason. So
Santa is way more of a hater than I thought. God damn, man. Holy.
He might be on his way out, but this season he getting a whole lot of coal. Unfortunately, they sent him home with a stack of coal.
I just thought Santa would give him the respect of not putting him on here for an injury, but okay. Cam, don't worry, I didn't leave your team out. Number 2 name on the nice list is Alperen Şengün. He has been absolutely nice, and when we get to the pyramid, he's already on the pyramid. He's going to climb up higher for sure. He's been amazing.
He's been Jokic.
He's looking more like he needs his own nickname because he ain't baby anything anymore. He is Alperen Şengün. He has arrived. He is the playmaker for this team while being the main scorer. And I think, at least so far this season, I think we can definitively say he is their best player.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's one of the best in the league. Top 15, easy, in my opinion.
We'll have those conversations.
So, hey, I'm a big fan of it. I love to see some Alperen Şengün love because I think his impact has risen significantly this year. It's actually amazing. But I think we're just seeing more guys like him, too. Because I was saying literally yesterday, Derek Queen is Charmander, Nikola Jokic is Charizard, and Alperen Şengün is whatever's in the middle. I can't remember.
Charmeleon.
He's the second. Charmeleon. Yes, he's Charmeleon. So,
Pokemon guys over here, huh?
I'm really not. I know that evolution.
All right. Well, now that what's the dude's name? Ash.
What's the dude's name? He doesn't even know the dude's name. That's crazy.
What's his name?
It's Ash.
Ash Ketchum.
It's Ash Ketchup. Yep. Ash Ketchup.
Yeah, okay. Now that the two Ashes are done talking, we'll move on back to the naughty list.
You couldn't even make the joke on your own. You needed our help for the joke.
I just wanted to make sure I said his name right. Listen, there's only one Pokemon. There's a couple more, but there's only one for sure that I will get 100% of the time. That's Pikachu. Moving forward.
I hope so.
Well, I don't even know what side Cam was on with this one, but he is definitely feeling the results of this poor performance on his fantasy team. The gumbo went away, and the talent did not come back. It is Mr. Zion Williamson, who has been utterly disappointing yet again. I don't even have any more excuses. He dropped the weight, and the talent just never found its way back.
The excuses are gone. That was the one last excuse, was like he lost the weight, he can be good now. It didn't happen. Cam and I were both high on him. That's why he ended up high on the pyramid. He's not going to end up that high, obviously. But yeah, we were wrong on that. We gave him the credit saying that he could. It was a projection. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I think we're officially done with Zion Williamson.
Oh yeah, I'm over it.
A top talent. I think we're past that chapter. That ship has sailed, and that gumbo has cooled off. We're past all of that.
Let's just let the Zach gloating tour continue. Number 3 on the nice list is Tyrese Maxey. Had to be, having one of the best seasons in the league right now, one of the best scorers in the league right now, carrying the 76ers right now with a hurt Joel Embiid. And he looks like their future franchise guy.
He's taking a huge leap, man.
31 points per game.
Phenomenal. Man. And he's doing it semi-efficiently, too, which is the craziest part.
46% from the field, 39% from 3. Like, the volume's gone up, and his efficiency has only gone up, too.
Yeah, Tyrese is that guy, man. Saw that one coming. But another player that I saw coming being bad, another player that we talked about during the New Year's resolutions, another player that Cameron wanted gone, arguably the biggest diva in the NBA right now, Ja Morant. Something about that draft class. RJ Barrett could potentially be the best player coming out of there, which is crazy to think about because Zion and Ja have just been abysmal. Stop with the grenades and the bazookas and
all those guns, and you still can't shoot. Ain't that funny?
Crazy. We used to call you the best shooter in the NBA. Never for what you did on the court. I don't even want to give you that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make any lists next year because I think the expectation is where it is right now. So it definitely made the naughty list this year. But his former teammate had to make the list this year with how good he's been for your team, Zach. Let's let the gloating continue. Dylan Brooks on the nice list. You would have expected him on the naughty list a couple years ago, but he is on the nice list. He's been very good, unexpectedly, averaging 20 plus this season while putting that defensive culture in there for the Suns. Been great defensively. Unexpectedly awesome offensively, which I don't know if that'll hold up, but he's a great asset for any team to have.
Dylan Brooks on the Rockets was kind of like, I don't know, he was kind of like an X-Factor player. So there would be stretches where we couldn't shoot for anything, and he was like the only guy scoring. And so I think he took that momentum and that opportunity he had in Houston and leveraged it into being a top scoring option on a playoff caliber team, which is crazy. But he's also shown a lot of flashes of this.
I just like those guys. Dylan Brooks is one of those players that you hate to play against, but you love to play with. I love those kinds of players. It's high energy, high morale. Now, sometimes his trash talk gets him in trouble, and it certainly did when he was with Memphis against LeBron. So I think he's taken a little bit of a step back on that.
Ejected, and that's what led to the Dylan Brooks 3 that gave them the lead. And after that, he goes right into LeBron.
Brooks makes illegal contact, unsported contact during the dead ball. He's been ejected from the game on his second technical foul.
Like I said, him going for 30, I didn't even know he could do that. So there's been a lot of surprises on that team, but Dylan Brooks is definitely the main one. Player who hasn't been as surprising. Again, and a lot of these names, like this list was already done before we even got to these New Year's resolutions. It's a lot of the names that we've talked about of just how bad they've been this year. As Arman calls it, he nice ball. And he don't win ball. Jello might have the best career out of all of them, and he never made the NBA. Crazy to think about that, isn't it? LaMelo Ball has been utterly disappointing as well. He's fun to watch, but we're here to win, bro. Like, if you're doing it for clicks, you're doing it for views, go back to Lithuania. You know, like, I don't know what else to tell you.
I hate to say it, but LaMelo Ball's looking a lot like his counterpart, Julian Newman, just dribbling the air out the ball.
All right. Okay.
He's the NBA equivalent. He's the NBA equivalent, bro.
Okay. All right. And then my last one really is the last two because I could not make my decision for the fifth and final spot. It is the two Jalens, Jalen Johnson and Jalen Duren. Both make the nice list because they've been so damn good this season. I could not leave either of them off. Both of them have made huge all-star jumps. Jalen Johnson looks like a first option. Jalen Duren looks like the perfect number 2 complement next to Cade.
Hey, he looks good. They've been calling him like a young Dwight Howard, you know? I don't think he's that good, but like...
Maybe like a young stat, like a young Amari Stoudemire.
I agree with that. With that. I've been high on Jalen Duren from the jump. Double-double machine, but... It used to be 10-10. Now it's 20-12. I love all of the players on your nice list. And to round out my naughty list, when I looked at the numbers from his past couple years versus this year, it kind of makes sense in the frame of how this team has transitioned with trades. One of the more underwhelming players for me this year has been Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, I say that because he's a former depoy, and his defensive presence has not been felt at all. His scoring numbers have gone down as lowest in the past 4 seasons, and he was on that up and up, that high trajectory to solidify himself as one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and there have been several names that have jumped past him in the span of a few years. Now, he hasn't fallen off of a cliff, but to be a defensive player of the year to now, the numbers with a block a game, 17, when you used to average 23.
How crazy to put it in perspective. We were at the beginning of the season, and I didn't think it was unreasonable. We were having talks of like Jaren Jackson Jr. in the same tier as Alperen Şengün. They were like thought of as the same tier of players. They've gone in opposite directions. Jaren Jackson Jr. has just not been the level of player that we thought he could be. He has not ascended to where we thought he could be.
I think that also goes back to like culture. It's just a cesspool on that Grizzlies team. They're cursed right now. You know what I mean? Like
Memphis cesspool. Oh,
Wait a second.
A whole bunch of bad shit going on, man. There's nothing good over there. Everybody's playing bad. Everybody's angry. And they're not 100% sure why, but nobody can seem to put it together. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is definitely included in that.
Some might even say shitty. That was a callback to cesspool.
Okay. All right. Well, that is our nice and naughty list. Some coal will be handed out. I don't know what the players on the nice list are going to get. Hopefully rewarded with all-star games because I think they all deserve it.
And stocking stuffers.
Get them like Pez. That was my stocking stuffer as a kid.
That's a good one. I would take that even now.
I love Pez.
Let's update the player pyramid. I don't think it'll take too long, but I feel like we might get in some arguments. But generally, I feel like we've been on the same page on a lot of players so far. Just to refresh, obviously I'll put it on the screen for y'all now at home, but to refresh for them because they can't see it. Tier 1 is Nikola Jokic. 2 is SGA and Giannis. 3 is Luka, Wemby, and Ant. 4 is Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham, Steph Curry. Tier 5, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Evan Mobley, and J-Dub. After that, it's Devin Booker, Trae Young, Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown, Paolo Banchero, and Zion Williamson. And then the last tier was Kawhi, Embiid, Fox, Amen Thompson, Alperen Şengün, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, well, we can kick Zion and Ja both off of the list. That's the first order of business.
They're gonna be kicked the hell off for sure. Let's start at the top though. Is there any?
Who put them on there?
Yeah. You wanted Ja too. Don't get it twisted. You wanted Ja too.
Yeah.
I can't remember that part.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, and by the way, Cam, you tried to lie last episode. You said no, I didn't say Luka over Shea. You definitely said Luka over Shea in the video.
Did. I knew you did.
Shea, while he is a superstar, don't get me wrong.
MVP.
Is he top 3? No.
Yes, he
unequivocally.
is. Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's unequivocally
No, he's not.
top 3. You said Shea was the 4th best player in that video. I went back and double checked.
Did I?
I can
Yes,
play
I
it
said
back.
Luka over Shea, but man.
No.
I was more so saying that it's definitively Giannis over Shea. That's what I was saying.
At this point, again, even then, it was not true. Especially at this point, it's not true. Shea's having one of the best peaks of all time. He's shooting 60% from 2, 45% from 3. Carried that team to an incredible record even without J-Dub and Chet. Averaging 32 points per game, 6.5 assists. One of the most efficient just scoring peaks of all time for a non-center.
Yeah, well, I was wrong.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted was an admittance, okay? Now I'll let it go.
I was wrong.
Okay, now I'll let it go. I needed to hear that. That was all. Okay. So, are we keeping Jokic at 1?
Oh,
yes.
He should have never been there. He should have never been there. I will die on that hill.
Jokic is still so good, though.
No,
he's still playing
he
so
is.
well.
He is, but
Zach,
the gap,
Jokic
gap
just
between 1 and 2 is
scored
not
30
as
on
big as
85% for the 8th time. His true shooting percentage, I think, is 70% on
Phenomenal.
averaging high 20s, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. And you're telling me he's not the best player in the league?
Absolutely. I'm telling you this, and here's the reason why. All of the numbers Arman just read out.
72%
24 and 1 without J-Dub for the first 15 games. Without
That's
Chet
a
here
team thing. Yes, I know he's leading the team. I understand that. That doesn't necessarily mean he's suddenly a better player than Joker.
It's not suddenly.
Stephen Curry can lead the 73-9 in Warriors. That doesn't make him automatically better than LeBron James. In the same way that Shea leading his team to 24 and 1 does not automatically make him better than the Joker.
A more apt comparison there. Not apt because obviously Jokic is a better player. At the same time, if you went back to whatever year it was, 2017 or 2018, when Westbrook wins the MVP, if you went back and asked people who would you rather have going into the playoffs, the person that won the MVP and put up the most box score stats, or Steph Curry, everyone would have gone Steph Curry. Everyone with like a reasonable brain about basketball would have gone Steph Curry. And I'm not saying that's relative to Jokic because Jokic is much better than that. I'm just saying just because he's putting up more stats doesn't make him the better player. I still think I'm leaving Jokic because Jokic is incredible this season. 72% true shooting on the season. He's leading the NBA in that, leading in rebounds, leading in assists, which I know is just box score numbers, but it still matters. But if I could, it's a pyramid. That's why they're on different tiers. If I could, I would put them in the same tier. But we have 1 best in the world and then 2 in the second tier. But Jokic and Shea should be on the same tier and then everybody else after that. But we will leave the top the same.
But Joker's at the top. Yes.
God.
Okay. Third.
They're 24 and 1.
I understand.
Why
Bro. I'm not saying it's not an argument. I think they're right next to each other. I'm just giving Jokic the edge right now. But I think they're like the same level of player.
I think it's 1A, 1B.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's 1A, 1B.
That's what I'm
saying.
But
I have Shea at 1A.
I have Jokic at 1A right now, but I think it is. They are very close. So SGA is obviously going to be staying in tier 2. Is Giannis staying in tier 2, or has Luka jumped him?
Luka jumped him. Luka's been absolutely insane. Now it's a smaller sample size. By this point, it's probably the same because Giannis is dealing with his injuries. Luka's averaging 35 a game. Like, when James Harden did it, he should have won the MVP. I can't believe he didn't. That's absolutely insane to think about. Now, while his field goal percentage is less than that of a Nikola Jokic, mainly because Luka's 3-ball is a lot more prominent in his game than Jokic's is, not to say he can't shoot it. Now, Austin Reeves and what he's been able to do so far this season has definitely helped when it comes to assist numbers and his scoring, because now teams have to worry about another threat, even with LeBron being down. This year, and I can't remember who I had moving forward, I might have said Giannis to be on tier 3, but they've always been close. It's been a close 3 and 4. Luka's taken another jump, which we thought he would, playing alongside LeBron James and being in that atmosphere in that realm. So I think Luka is taken over at 3 for sure.
And so I remember in the video you were adamant about Luka being 3, and then Cam and I overruled you about that and put Giannis in the second tier. I think I flip-flopped. I will say probably mostly because Giannis has been hurt, and that's not necessarily fair to him. But Luka is also exceeding my expectations this year. So I think he's slightly jumped him just because of that. But I don't think it's crazy to say by the end of the season that Giannis would jump back over him. But right now, I have to give the edge to Luka for sure.
And you say you don't have home team bias.
You just said you had Luka 3rd. What are you talking about?
I know, but I'm not a Lakers fan.
I think that's fine. Obviously, he's been out, so it's kind of like it's not his fault, but at the same time, you got to give credit where credit is due. Luka's averaging 35, so I think I'm going to say it's less about his injury and more about Luka's dazzling start to the year. Whoever's 35, I mean, there's only one guy who's averaged a couple guys who's averaged that much, and they're all-time greats. I think you got to put them top 3.
I think so.
Neither of them won MVP.
Kobe didn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
Rightfully so.
No,
So.
he was the MVP that year. You just admitted. You just outed yourself, by the way.
He was not. I did not out myself.
All right,
I just said neither of them won MVP.
I do want to give Giannis credit, though. He may be the 4th in the league, but this is like the most talented the top 4 has ever been in the NBA. Like in NBA history, I think this is the best that the top 4 has ever been. So him being 4th is really not an indictment of him. Are we keeping Wemby and Ant in 5th and 6th best player in this 3rd tier?
Wemby for sure. Wemby for sure is number 5.
I think so. I still think
Ant is not
those
6.
guys are still okay, bro.
Who would be 6 if you're not saying Ant?
You ready for this answer?
It's Cade, isn't it?
Oh gosh.
No, it's Tyrese Maxey.
It's not
the man.
No,
Yes,
it's not Maxey already.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Look,
it is.
this
Yes,
is.
it is.
No.
I understand if we're just going off so far this season. I get it. This is still cumulative. I'm not taking Tyrese Maxey as a player over Anthony Edwards already. I'm not.
Absolutely.
Hell
No. For your future,
No.
you're taking Tyrese Maxey over Anthony Edwards?
Only thing Ant is more
This is
athletic.
just
Answer.
important.
Answer. You're saying for the
Only
future.
thing-
You're saying taking Tyrese Maxey over
Yes.
Anthony Edwards for the future? I need an answer.
Radio silence. Radio silence.
I need the take right now. Come on.
Come
No,
on.
because you're
Come on.
done.
Let's hear it.
I know what you're trying to do. I'm gonna plead the 5th on that question.
No,
I know what you're trying to do.
stand on it now or you don't
This
believe
season,
it.
right now. Player pyramids right now.
Player pyramid, sure, but as a player, it's not necessarily who performed the best this season. It's who are the best players in the world. Some like Paul George could be 3rd in MVP voting because he was the 3rd best in that season. He wasn't the 3rd best player in the league. I think there's a difference there. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference there. Come on.
Zach knows
Yeah.
what you're saying. He's just being coy right now.
No, moving forward, I take Ant, but
Okay, then
Tyrese
Ant is 6. Ant is 6 then.
Yes, he's 6.
Come on.
Let's be real.
I am being
Let's be
real.
We can start talking about him in this tier. I don't know yet because I'm not putting Maxey necessarily over Donovan Mitchell yet. I'm not ready to do that. I feel like Donovan Mitchell can still stay here. I feel like Cade could still
This
stay
is-
here. So I feel like
Yeah,
Mitch and
Cade's
Cade
still in
can
here.
they comfortably stay. The other 2 that we had in this tier are Steph and Brunson. Are they still over Maxey?
No.
Really? Who we dropping?
Curry for sure. Curry for sure.
Wow, Curry for sure.
He's still averaging 28. He's still an elite scorer, but
I don't know if I'm ready to put Maxey, but I would keep Curry and Brunson in this tier. I'm not ready to go off such a small sample size, but if y'all want Maxey in this tier, we can put him. My vote is to keep it the same, though.
I'm all for change. Put Tyrese Maxey in.
I don't want to be the deciding vote on that.
Bro, you were just trying to say Tyrese Maxey was better than Anthony
I know.
Edwards, bro.
I got caught up in the moment. I got caught up in the season. I had to readjust that we're also talking about moving forward. This season, Tyrese Maxey's a top 6 player. He's playing better than Anthony Edwards, but I don't think that makes him a better player.
Okay.
I got caught up in the moment. I'm sorry.
Is Maxey a better player
Right.
than either Curry or Jalen Brunson?
I think Curry, yes.
I think Brunson's better than Curry at this stage in their careers.
Okay.
So it would be between Tyrese and Steph. The same way that LeBron's able to fall out of a top 10 in the league, I think Steph is as well.
Okay.
So
We'll put Maxey. That's
is it
fine.
early? Potentially, but I don't hate the possibilities moving forward that Tyrese Maxey can duplicate this at a higher level.
Okay. This is a question for Cam because I know how Zach feels. Is Şengün in that conversation over Maxey though?
No.
I knew
I was just about to say that was going to be my follow-up because, yes, Maxey's killing it. He's a flamethrower. But I think if you look at overall body of work, Alperen Şengün has been a part of more winning basketball. Not to discredit what he's been doing because the Sixers, frankly, were atrocious last season. I think Alperen Şengün is a more impactful player.
No,
I
stop.
What do you mean stop? Besides purely scoring, tell me what Tyrese Maxey does better than Alperen Şengün.
The simple fact that Şengün and the Rockets, I don't know how much you're going to love this argument, but Tyrese Maxey is averaging 7.5 assists with not a lot of talent around him. Now, Alperen's a great facilitator. I feel a lot more comfortable with my assist numbers racking up when I'm passing the ball to Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson who can get to the basket versus I can't even tell you who the next best player on the 76ers is this season.
VJ maybe, and he's gone down from that incredible start.
Yes, but also Alperen Şengün was averaging multiple assists per game with a team that had zero floor spacing, a bad offense. Now we're finally, I don't think it's just Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant isn't even always the top scorer every night. If he was, I think he would have a point. But I think the top scorer changes every night, and that's because Alperen Şengün is able to identify who's open, who has the hot hand, and get the ball to them at all costs. I think it's less about just assist numbers, but the way you command the offense. Tyrese Maxey has the ball in his hands and has probably one of the highest usage rates in the league versus Alperen Şengün, who's just a hub. He's so fantastic at identifying gaps, who's open, and running an offense versus just having the ball in your hands and then passing it to an open guy when you see it.
It's close. I'm not saying that it's crazy, but I think for what Tyrese is able to do on a team and kind of have the year that he's having, the Rockets were poised to have a good year, and they have. So this isn't really shocking for a factor. Tyrese not necessarily came out of nowhere.
Because it's shocking that makes Tyrese suddenly better?
That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that for him to average 32, 7, and 4 with less around him.
That's what you're supposed to do.
No, that's not what you're supposed to do because when you're the best
every great player with a talent depleted team has always seen higher numbers. Now, to Maxey's credit, he's doing it pretty efficiently, but most players, when they have a talent depleted roster, average more, have a higher usage rate, and then people inflate their value because of that. And we've talked about that numerous times, which is why I'm saying Maxey's great, but I don't think he's better and more impactful than Alperen Şengün.
We're at a crossroads because my vote is Curry, Zach's is Maxey, Cam's is clearly Şengün. It goes down to who's our second option. So, Zach, who would be your second option out of Curry or Şengün?
Şengün.
It would be Şengün? Wow, okay.
Thank you for not being biased.
To your credit, Cameron, that when you do have a talent depleted roster, your numbers do typically go up as far as scoring wise, but also for his assist numbers to go up and his efficiency is impressive because now when you don't have the stars around you, when Joel Embiid is out, you're going to get even more defensive attention than you would if somebody else was there. So for your numbers to go up and your percentages to go up with that just kind of speaks volumes in itself. And that's why, again, I don't think that it's a crazy gap. That's why I think Şengün is still in that conversation. That is why I would lean Maxey. Not because, you don't have anybody else, you just get to shoot the ball, because we've seen players do that and their numbers go down. Derek White, prime example, has a much larger role this year and is shooting the worst in his career with Tatum being down.
I'm going to have to break the tie here, and I think I have to agree with Cam here. I think Şengün's my second option here. Just barely. It's very close. I'm surprised you both have both of them over Curry already, but
yeah,
we'll slide Şengün in there. We're saying he's the 10th best player in the league already. So far this season, I think that's been accurate. So then we feel comfortable Curry and Maxey in the next tier, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The other guys that we had in this tier previously was AD. I think we can say he's not there anymore.
Yeah, he's not there.
J-Dub, Mobley, KD, and Braun.
Kick down KD. I think he has taken a slight step back.
I don't know. I feel like he's still in the conversation because we that was the projection that we had going into the season, which is why Zach and I wanted him in
That
this
is
tier.
true.
I think you were arguing for him to be a tier above. I think there's still an argument for KD, but who do we want next to stay in the tier? I feel like we could give LeBron and J-Dub some grace because they've only been coming back from injuries.
Hey, I was
That's
like,
fair.
J-Dub can stay. I
That's
think
fair.
he should stay. Yeah.
You don't think Bron should stay even though he's coming back from an injury?
Relax. LeBron James is in this tier. Stop.
I'm keeping
Stop.
Bron in the tier. I'm keeping
Yes.
Bron in the tier.
Yes.
We can
Because
keep him.
no.
I'm
because
just thinking though.
if he's
Like,
in this tier, then we're starting to get into the conversation that there's 18 better players in the NBA than LeBron James, which has never been true in his
I
career.
don't think that's crazy
would
to
be
say.
safe.
No,
I
stop,
don't
stop,
think that's crazy to say. We have to think about it. I have to
No.
think about it. I'm not saying clear cut. There's 15, but I'm at the point where I really have to think about
Well,
it.
who's above him, right? Who's in the? Because I don't think KD has been better because KD stepped back and LeBron has been ramping up the past couple of games. I'm not ready to say Austin Reeves is a better player. Devin Booker's not a better player. I don't want to hear it, Zach. And I don't believe that Jaylen Brown, this is going to last. So
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. So is that who you're saying should be the last in this tier? Is Devin Booker?
Of course he should be in this tier.
I don't think so. I think he's taking a step back as well this
No,
year.
he is
honestly.
not.
Yes, he has.
No, he is not.
He's had a lot of bad games.
I feel
bro.
like he's just the
Or
same
not bad
player.
games, but just like mid games.
If I'm honest, I still want to leave KD in the tier. I'm not ready to drop him yet. I would still take KD
fine
over
with that.
Devin Booker. All right, we're keeping KD. Sorry, Zach.
It's interesting because some players have taken a step back, but I think the gap between them and some other players is maybe a little bit wider than you would kind of think. I wasn't saying LeBron is definitely like not top 15. I'm just like, I have to really think about.
I just don't think
There's a
there's
lot of
anybody
talent
else
change.
under, because now we're going to get in the conversation of guys like Booker, Jaylen Brown. Evan Mobley really hasn't taken the step that we thought he would, but I feel like he could be in this
Yeah.
tier. Do y'all feel good about all those guys being in this tier?
I mean, Devin Booker should be here, but yeah, I understand what I'm overruled. So
We already moved on. KD is in the tier. So Booker, Jaylen Brown, and Mobley can be in the next tier.
I'm good with that.
Can we have the conversation of Austin Reeves?
absolutely, I think Austin Reeves and Jalen Johnson
Yeah.
are making their names in this tier.
We could go Jalen Johnson. I feel fine about that.
Jalen
He's-
Johnson for sure.
Bro, Jalen
Has to
Johnson
be.
is playing incredible.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
The guys
Oh
we
my
had in this
God.
tier were Book, who stays. I think Trey has fallen under all those guys.
Yeah.
What about Cat? Has Cat fallen below all those guys?
Yes.
Another, I mean,
I think
Another name I think-
I think it's another thing where it's like I don't think he's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, you're fine. Another name that I think
I
could
was
be.
just gonna.
You told me to go ahead. You told me to go ahead. You said go ahead and then continue to talk. So I don't know what you want me to do on that one. Another name that I think we could and should be talking about, not even just for this season, but in general, and I don't even know, I think we had the conversation while on the last list. James Harden is still playing incredible basketball. Now, the team's losing, but he is still an all-world NBA player.
That's what I was gonna say. The team is bad, so the stats are a little inflated. I think he's done enough to be in this tier, if I'm honest. I would take him over all those guys I said, like Cat, Trey, Paolo. I would take Harden right now.
I would too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah,
put
that's
put
crazy.
James in there. That's our 6 right there. Below that, I still feel like I can't drop Anthony Davis any lower than this. He's still a great player when he's healthy.
When he's healthy.
I'm fine with keeping him here. But
What about Karl Anthony Towns? Do y'all want to keep him here?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I will give it to you, Cam. Pascal Siakam can stay here.
No.
I feel like-
kick his bum ass out.
Okay,
No,
well, who do you
hell
want?
no.
You gotta tell me who you want. You want
This
Scotty
season?
Barnes? Do you want Julius Randle?
Oh, he's playing great this season.
You know who he's not playing better than this season? That's another forward that, again, bad basketball, but low-key kind of shining. Denny Avdia is hooping better than Pascal Siakam this season. Now, moving forward, is it sustainable? I don't know.
Siakam's averaging 24, 7, and 4 with 1 steal, half a block, 48% from the field, and 36% from 3.
Could have
Denny
him
Avdia is
Pascal.
averaging
real.
25 more points, 7 and 6, so more assists, while shooting 47% from the floor. I don't know what you thought Denny Avdia was averaging,
No,
but it's
no.
better than Pascal Siakam.
My point is, it's close to his, and Siakam is a way better defender than Denny Avdia.
Yes, I think that's the big difference for me. We can talk about Denny in this tier. I honestly would still take Scotty Barnes for the future over Denny.
Yes.
I would put Barnes in this tier right now because Barnes has actually been playing really well this season. I mean, Jimmy has actually been underratedly good this year.
For sure.
We thought he aged out, but Jimmy Butler, I feel like, has earned a spot back in.
So what happens when you
Step
play with the greatest
first.
point guard of all time.
Okay, all right, no, that is what Magic did for all his players. That is true. Made
Wait,
Byron Scott an
Why
awesome
are we
player.
talking about Magic?
Best point guard of all time.
I'm hesitant to throw a name out because we've seen him be good, but we've also seen regression. But Lauri Markkanen's on his way back up. But we've seen the fallbacks. He had the stage was set for him to kind of be a mainstay in the NBA, and he had such a bad year that it's like, bro. But the year he's having now, again, it's bad basketball.
It's bad basketball, man.
He's still averaging 27. Now, would I rather have Lowry's 27 with Utah versus like J-Dub's 22 with OKC? No. I'm okay if we don't have him here, but
I feel like I would take Jamal Murray over him right now.
I'm not mad at that at all. Jamal's another good name.
Yeah. And he just dropped 50. Whew.
Do we want to kick Kawhi out? Or, I mean, he's been so good. He's been so good when he plays, though. He's been so good. He's been their best player. But I do feel like, you know what? You're right. With the Clippers, how bad they are, having two Clippers on a superstar pyramid with how bad they are does feel pretty gross. You want to make a case for Bam, Cam? Because he's actually been pretty good this year.
Yeah. He's taking that step offensively again because he's looked kind of mid last 2 seasons. He hasn't really taken a step, but I think we're finally going away from that back to the basket touches that he was getting, which was awful to watch. I think I'd rather watch paint dry than see Bam try to score back to the basket. I'd be cool with that.
I feel like I would rather have him with his defense over a guy like Denny, over a guy like Markkanen. Chet's been great defensively too. I still feel like there's liabilities.
I'm not mad at Bam. Another name, which I have very, very close right now, a guy we've talked about in Jalen Duren. But I think offensively, Bam has a slight edge. Defensively, again, it's very, very close.
Jalen Duren has been pretty good at defending in space, but I think Bam is so good at that. When you talk about rim protection, Jalen Duren probably has a slight edge over him, but like Bam is so good at defending off of a switch on a screen and defending in space that I just don't know if he can really be on the same level defensively as Bam.
If you're asking me for the future, I would say Jalen Duren. Give me next year, I will take Jalen Duren. This season, I will still give the edge to Bam. And we should let him have that final spot. So he makes a superstar pyramid. Couple of new additions. Obviously, the biggest riser is Tyrese Maxey, of course. Şengün rise very high as well. And then we had a couple droppers. Probably something shouldn't have been on the list in the first place. But, we fixed up. It's all right.
Optimism.
You speak French now?
Yeah, you had it. We got it. We already admitted our mistakes. We'll see you guys later. Sorry about no wheel. We will do a full wheel video next time, I promise, because we got to get those wheels in there. We'll see you later.
We'll do it.
But I can't believe that's the way we're ending the video, bro. End it.
Oh, man. Roll the outro.
Man.
Roll the outro. Fade to black. Fade to black.
Yep.
Fade to black.